So I tried something new. I made a boucle yarn. Never done it before, so I read up on it and I'll show you what I've got. Here's the result. And it's really fun. Look how cute it is. But it wasn't all roses. Let me talk you through it. Hey, this is Kathy from Wool Maven. And like I said, I made a boucle yarn. I had to look that up to make sure I pronounce it right. And I've always thought these things were super cool because look at just all the little curly bits hanging off. That's awesome. But I always told myself, you know, I'll get there. I'll get there. One of these days I'm going to make one. One of these days I'm going to make one. Well, I decided yesterday, today's the day, I've got a fiber I think will do it. So I carded up some Leicester Longwool that I have and I put it on some bobbins. You can see it right here. And those two bobbins are spun opposite. If you'll look closely, there's a yarn that runs straight. That's the core. And then there's like the loopy one. So you spin the core opposite, so counterclockwise, loosely counterclockwise. Then you spin the one you're going to loop. You spin it normal, which is clockwise. Then you ply them together by kind of holding the core straight and having your loopy one come in from the sides. You're kind of throwing it on and it goes around, then you push it up. And that's how you end up with, maybe you've seen people do beehives, that kind of thing. And I've got a few of them right here. We'll talk about that in a sec. When you're plying those two together, that is going through the wheel counterclockwise. So you're actually tightening up the core when you put the two, in my case, white strands together. And then you go through the wheel one more time clockwise and you put on a binder thread, which I use just little copper thread that I got from the store. And it's kind of hard to see, but it's in here. So I've never done this before. And as you can see, I spun way more than I needed. And it wasn't this is, like I said, it's Leicester Longwool. It didn't take me super long to spin, but what it did take me a while was the plying, the initial ply, where I'm putting the two white ones together. That took longer than I thought because you're going counterclockwise, like I said, and you're holding the core straight, and then you put the loopy one on from the side and treadle, so your wheel's turning this way, and then you stop and you kind of push it up. Then you go a little more and you push it up. So you're doing way more treadling than you'd normally because you've got all this extra length you're putting on there. And it was fun and I liked it. Although if you get to looking, things aren't quite as even as we might like to see. Like for instance, this section right here, you can see like there's a lot of curliness there, but then it kind of gets flat right here, more curly, a little flat here. Then there's parts more like over here where that section, hopefully you can see that. That's it's a little bit better down here. There's an awful lot of space there that isn't, maybe I'm not sure if it'll show up better like that. There's an awful lot of space there that's fairly flat, fairly boring. And that wasn't part of my plan. So I prefer, what I wanted was more a look like this, that curly amount. And I ended up with it not distributed as well as I thought, because here's what would happen. When I was putting on the coppery thread, that's when you distribute out the loops, and I would end up with a big kind of wad like this because I put so much on there. Then it would get caught and I couldn't back it up. So I had my initial piece here was just way too big. I should have put like half that on there and then it would have spread out much, much better. So I got a little too excited when I was plying and shoving up the spiral part that was going to be the loops. I should have shoved up less. I should have been packed less on there so I had more room to spread things out, because the big, like the beehivey curl right here would kind of get knotted up. And then when I'd go to spread it out, like down the length here, I couldn't make it move and it got stuck. So I just started to, since I noticed that happening kind of frequently, I just started to move past it and just plied it right into place. So it is kind of cool if you like more of a bead look to it. But anyway, I've never done it before. It was pretty fun. And in some places, sometimes it gets a little bit wild and crazy like that. I did have it break a couple times on me. So then I just kind of put it back together like you would when you normally have a break for plying. But I liked it. It was pretty fun. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. And as I mentioned, I do have that extra up there. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make another little bit of it. But we'll see. And technically, like here's one. That right there, technically a mistake. But if you wanted them, you could do like partly boucle, partly little beehivey. But it's really pretty. I like it. There's a nice view of the singles, and you can see like there's a ton more there than there is here. And then after I put it through with the thread on it, and once again the thread just kind of holds the loops in place along your core, and then I just soaked it in lukewarm water with a touch of baby shampoo in it overnight, and then pulled it out of the water in the morning, because if you wait to pull it out till it's cool, then that helps your yarn stay smooth and shiny. Pushed out the extra water in a towel and then just hung it up to dry and got this. So for perfect, certainly not, but for a first try, pretty cool. I liked it. So this is curly locks that you could do with anything like mohair. I assume Blueface Leicester. Like I said, this is a Leicester Longwool, but it's pretty cool. And that's how it turned out for me for a first shot. I like it. If you have any questions, let me know. Love to help you out, and see ya.